In this video, I'd like to give you an update based on what I'm seeing about gay men joining big gay family, what they are saying about their sex lives, how they are changing, and there's a major shift happening in the approach to sexuality. I'm going to summarize it with the following statement. Many educated gay men who are professionals, they are completely exhausted from the whole top and bottom dynamic. We have tops that are becoming sides because they see that the bottoms are just consumed with sex. And this sexual consumerism just never stops. And so to find husband material men, we have to focus on trust building, not pleasure as the primary for relationship building. It used to be that looking for love in itself was pleasurable. Do you remember? I don't know how old you are, but I'm almost 50. And I remember in my 20s, my 30s, I wanted to fall in love. I was not looking at sex, at tops or bottoms. I wanted to fall in love. And then the hookup apps started. And then everything changed. Then the entire gay population was divided into tops, into bottoms. And this consumerism of sex was born. And this consumerism is what solidified this hedonistic approach to life. Now, I don't know what your thoughts are on how to define the quality of lovers or partners, but my definition is that trust is the key factor here. When someone is trustworthy, when someone is loving and caring, when you have that, it's going to be exciting. You're going to have good quality sex. Everything will fall into pieces. If you don't have that, you're going to be looking for shortcuts. And this is where the whole top and bottom dynamic began. It's a compensation or it's a substitute for lack of trust. For something that takes a long time to establish, because trust is not, like a top and bottom thing. You're top, you're bottom, and you snap a finger and you believe that that's it. Trust takes months and years to develop. And if you are able to reflect about what is hiding underneath the pursuit of top and bottom connections, underneath there is avoidance and neglect and almost like a pretend game that trust is not important. But let's go even deeper. Who in the gay community does not care about trust? And there are sub-groups inside the gay population that are purely driven by sex. And this is, yes, I'm going to stereotype a little bit, but you'll get it when I say this, that it's the closeted guys, the bisexual guys, often the gay men who are HIV positive. What you see is that with those subgroups, there is this uninhibited, uncontrolled desire for sex only. And when you go on the hookup apps, it almost feels like everyone is like that. But when you think from the perspective of psychology, of trauma, abuse, psychology of human interactions, then yes, we have this sub-grouping inside the gay population that already is a minority. We have minorities within minorities. And when you realize who wants trust and who wants sex, and you allow yourself to be courageous, because you have to have courage to call out, because this is not popular to be saying like this, you're going to come to the same conclusion that I came to, that if you want healthy, loving relationships, you have to be exclusively with gay men who are out, who are 100% gay, and they have not been hurt, abused by sex. And so often this means that it's HIV negative men. I used to try to love an HIV positive man. I was in a relationship with one for 10 years, and no matter how much I tried, at the end it was the sex, it was the kinkiness, it was the overpowering push for sex that eventually I come to a conclusion that I was pushing a boulder up the hill. And so if you want to push the boulder up the hill with sex, eventually it's going to fall down and crash you, and you're going to start over. And the way to escape it is to realize that we have two approaches to relationships, and these approaches are not compatible. We have a trust building approach, and we have the sex approach. And in the sex approach, you're always going to come back to square one. You're always going to come back. Because the people that are attracted to sex, there is a reason why they are only attracted to sex. And this is where I want you to pause and think. You think that these men that are attracted to sex, they're the same as the men who are attracted to trust and love, but they're not the same. Often they are narcissists. Often they are shamed and traumatized to a level where they don't have empathy. Their minds and their consciousness is very narrow, often because of sexual abuse. And when you approach gay relationships through the top and bottom sexual dynamic, you're going to come across most of those men. When you approach relationships through the top and bottom dynamic, those are the men that you're going to attract to your life. When you approach relationships through the lens of search for love and trust, you are not going to attract those men to your life anymore. And this is a good thing. Now, obviously, if you're sexually exploring, that's a totally different time of life, in your 20s, 30s, then you don't have to listen to this advice. But if you are searching for commitment, for trust, for love, then this discussion applies 100%. So we need to look at the approach to your relationships through those two lenses. The lens of pure sex, and it's very tempting. It's very attractive sometimes because we have sexual fantasies, but it's also very dangerous. And then we have the world of trust, the world of commitment, the world of love. And the men who search for that, those are different kind of men. That world is not dangerous anymore. It's not risky. It's not a place where you're going to fail. You will always succeed when you pursue relationships through the lens of trust, love, and commitment. Because the men that you come across, if they're not going to become your lovers, they're going to become your friends, they're going to become your travel buddies, they're going to become your best friends. It's a win-win. If you pursue relationships through sex and top and bottom, you are part of what often people call the red ocean strategy, the red ocean. There's a book, The Blue Ocean Strategy. So what we're talking about here is to participate in the pursuit of love and relationships in a safe way without exposing yourself to a lot of trauma, abuse, and hurt, and eventually coming back to the same realization that I've come to, which is that if you really value your life, if you value your peace of mind, why put it all at risk? Why risk it all in the name of a fuck session and sexual fantasy that's never supposed to come true anyway? Our sexual fantasies are never going to go away. They always will be chasing you around, especially when you're lonely. But when you have trusting lovers, trusting people in your life, those sexual fantasies will gently diminish. They will never go away permanently. That's why this can be a very confusing space. Our sexual fantasies of rapture, of volatile sex, those sexual fantasies will never go away, my friend. They're unlikely to go away. That's why our pursuit of top and bottom keeps reoccurring if you don't have any other options, because it's the sexual fantasies that are driving you there. But that approach doesn't work anymore. We have tops becoming sides. We have bottom guys becoming sides too. And a side is a man who is not top or bottom. And there's a reason why all of this is happening. It's almost like the forces of nature, the forces of sociology are pressing upon us. And new methods, new approaches to love and companionship and trust are resurfacing with more and more pronouncement. So if you're one of those men who has a good life going on for you, please don't put it all at risk for toxic lovers, distrusting partners who will divorce you, take your stuff with them, traumatize you, betray you, all because they were a good fuck. And instead, to pursue partners and lovers that you trust, and by doing so, removing yourself from toxicity for the rest of your life. And that's what I'm inviting all of you to do. Join us at the Big Gay Family Social Program. We have exclusively trust, commitment, responsibility, loyalty, methodology, where the people that you meet are going to stay in your life forever. We have literally, I'm actually shocked at this myself, because we have members of the program that stay in the program for years. And we have a lifetime membership that they ask for because they see that what we're doing here is simply magical. We have perfected a trust building process of dating. It's a 12-step process. It's called the Universal Dating Protocol. There are conversations about emotions, intimacy, sexuality, spanning 3 months, 12 interactions. And we have a ritual called the exchange of intimacy codes. And this ritual culminates this dating process in a beautiful way. And the men that participate in this process, they cannot help themselves but awaken their hearts for each other, awaken spiritually, intimately, and they stay together forever. So join us and give yourself this innovation and this healthier, more loving, peaceful approach to meeting gay men. You don't have to participate with the hookup apps anymore. You don't have to end up lonely and abused. You can join us and say goodbye to the toxic world of hookups and distrust and betrayals. Okay, my friends, hope this was helpful. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the other side in the program. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new. and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Signing off, I'll see you soon. Take care.